My name is Jeremy Bolm. I play in a band called Touche Amore, and these are my Sisters in Christ guest picks. I'm happy to be here. We haven't had the honor of playing New Orleans a ton of times, and it's awesome to get to check out this store for the first time. I'm taking home, we're starting off just like blowing smoke. The Thou Here's Collective split. It's Nirvana covers. There's a new Here's Collective record coming out that I was honored to be asked to be a part of. I think I only own 1 7-inch of theirs, so I'm excited to get this. I also enjoy the band Thou, and so stoked for that. This came out, it came out on Get Better only, right? From what I know. Is it a split? I think it's just Get Better, yeah. I'm a fan of Get Better Records. Great people run that label, and so yeah, and this looks awesome. I'm excited to finally own that. So I'm gonna put that right there. Guided by Voices are a band that have a lot of records. They have a lot of records, and I only own a couple of them. I'm even guarded to say I'm like a super fan in any capacity because I only own so many. But I know this is one that a lot of people really love, and I don't own it. I've listened to it a ton, but like I said, I don't own it on vinyl. This is Isolation Drills. Came out in 2001. Oh, I didn't even realize it was produced by Rob Schnaff. He's done records for like Elliott Smith, Saves the Day. He actually recently did stuff with Joyce Manor and with Angel Dust. I got to meet him briefly while Angel Dust was recording, and he was incredibly kind. I'm trying to think of what I punished him about. I forget what record it was, but it might have just even been Elliott Smith stuff. But I didn't know that until I looked at the back of this. So that makes me even more excited to really take this in on vinyl. So there's that. This is topical. This is the X record Wild Gift. On the drive to New Orleans today, we were talking about proto-punk. The New York Dolls was on, and then we put on MC5 and the Stooges and stuff like that. And then X got brought up, and I admitted that I wrote X off at a very young age. The first time I heard it was when I probably was first really listening to what I thought was, punk or whatever. And I remember listening to it and just thinking it sounded like Fleetwood Mac or something. And I was like, I don't get it. And then only in the last couple of years did I give it a second listen. And I have a much deeper appreciation for it now. And I don't own this record. So there you go. Sorry, X, for you don't care about my opinion. You've never cared. I'm excited to talk about this band. They're called, if I'm saying it properly, Die HOFFNUNG. I had this on my favorite records of the year this came out, which even escapes me at this point. But it's members of the Screamo band I Hate Myself. This record had no business being as good as it is. It's so good. If you're an I Hate Myself fan and you're not familiar with this record, definitely grab it. I believe they're all like silkscreen covers too. But it's an unbelievable record. If you're a fan of Screamo and you're a fan of I Hate Myself in any capacity, absolutely check this record out. It's absurdly good. Pulled out this Boy Sets Fire record to talk about. I was last night on the drive. I put on After the Eulogy to get me through the last 40 minutes of the drive. That was like kind of an earlier gateway record for me when it comes to like more melodic hardcore. But this originally came out on Magic Bullet. It's called This Crying, This Screaming, My Voice Is Being Born. I think the EP is great. It sounds like it was recorded with a Fisher-Price My First Recorder or something like that. Like it's pretty primitive sounding, but it's kind of the charm of it. But most notably, it has a song called Vehicle, which Coalesce covers on a split 7-inch, and the Coalesce cover of it is one of my favorite things that band ever did. And I'm a huge Coalesce fan. So this is me just giving respect where it's due, because that cover wouldn't exist without the original, which is on this EP. So Magic Bullet stopped being a label and changed their name to Dark Operative. So that's who this pressing is from. Pulled this out to talk about. Huge Casket Lottery fan. Touche got to do a split 7-inch with them when they got back together, which was a huge honor. We've gone on record saying that we drove out to Kansas to record our record, Parting the Sea Between Brightness and Me, specifically because of the Casket Lottery recording of their album Survival is for Cowards. They, I'm pretty positive, did all of their albums in Eudora, Kansas, at a spot called the Black Lodge or the Red Lodge. I think they changed names for it over time. But it was owned by Ed Rose, the producer, as well as the Pope brothers, who play in the Get Up Kids. The Get Up Kids even have a collections record called Eudora because of that studio. But anyway, huge Casket Lottery fan. This is a collection of basically the songs from 7 Inches and EPs and some cover songs. And I didn't know that some of the cover songs they did on here even existed until this came out, which include a Shudder to Think cover of the song Red House, which is fantastic. And they also cover In the Meantime by Helmet on this, and Sean Ingram of Coalesce sings it, and it's fucking awesome. So yeah, that's my spiel on this. This also came out on a label called Status, which was out of Thousand Oaks, California. The owner of that label, his name is Seth. He also did a magazine for a short amount of time, just called Status Magazine, that I have a deep appreciation for because it was the first time I ever had the opportunity to do any sort of writing. So for that magazine, I did a lot of album reviews. I'm sure they're terrible because I was very young and I didn't know what I was doing, but it also provided me the opportunity to interview Jake Bannon from Converge, and that was my first time I ever met him, and in a weird way kind of started, I guess, a relationship that later helped with us signing to Deathwish for Parting the Sea. Big circle thing. And then I'm going to talk about this band Curl Up and Die, who, connection, put out their first EP on Status. This band was very important to me and a lot of my friends. They were from Vegas. I remember us all thinking that they won because they actually recorded this record with Kurt Ballou. And it came out on Rev during probably the weirdest era of Revelation, where they were putting out a lot of like sass rock bands and then like definitely like sass hardcore bands. Like they put out a band called Sense by Man, Call Me Lightning, Temper, like this the plot to blow up the Eiffel Tower. But this is one of the highlights of that for me personally. This album has really ridiculous song titles, which was the thing to do at the time, including Dr. Doom, A Man of Science Doesn't Believe in Jesus, Why the Fuck Do You? 100 Mile Per Hour Vomit Dedicated to John, just like stupid stuff. The first 4 songs are called We Are All Dead, and by the time you get to track 8, I think you've probably only listened to this album for 6 minutes. They all just lead into one another. It's a fun listen. It's very of the era. It's very Converge-y. But I'm thankful for it because I have a lot of fond memories of this band and of this record. So if you've never listened to Curl Up and Die's Unfortunately We're Not Robots, you should do that because it's a fun little time capsule. While I was going through stuff, I was handed this Weird Al cassette, which is now extra exciting. I got to be a little bit part in this in the Weird Al movie that came out. And this is extra ties together because there's a performance scene where he then performs I Love Rocky Road, which is on this album right here. So there you go. That's my picks. I'm happy to be here. Support the store. It's awesome. Shout out Thou. Yay! Yay!